the Mavity of the situation, Roussel. Hey, Roussel said here, live from bed. Why am I in bed? Well, after last week's special, if such a word applies, I went to see my doctor because I was suffering from a great deal of fatigue and anxiety, and he diagnosed me with pop culture shock, which is a condition that is usually found amongst Star Trek fans these days. But yeah, here it is. It's hit me full on, square in the tits, and it's not good. It's caused a little bit of a breakdown of my brain and body, to the point where I feel I have to stay resting. I'm not ready yet to face the world. I'm not eating properly. I haven't slept. But don't feel bad about that. I know you don't, but you know, um, you put stuff out there and it can have unintended consequences. It's a pity that my health is one of those, but again, you know, don't trouble yourself too much. So this week, then, while Blue Yonder, second of your three specials. Now, look, before we get into it, there's not that much to get into, really, was there? Let's just contemplate what your brief was to start with when you came back as showrunner. Three specials for the 60th anniversary of the show. Very few shows have a 60th anniversary. Doctor Who does. And so the expectation was surely that each of these specials was going to be just that, special. Big stories, lore deepening episodes, three specials we'd remember for all time. But you know, psychologically, I think, and we've seen this a lot of times in TV. We saw it, I think, a lot with. I remember, you know, the 1996 Only Fools and Horses specials were supposed to finish the series but didn't. Do you remember those? And John Sullivan took the approach that the first one should, you know, introduce certain ideas, and the middle one should just be a sort of, you know, conventional happy-go-lucky episode, and the third one should be consequential. So there's a little bit of a narrative dip in the middle. And it seems to me you sort of followed that kind of philosophy with this. You know, that you saw this as the middle episode, as the breather, the tangential adventure, but it wasn't very consequential, was it? It didn't really have. There wasn't much meat. It was an empty show, wasn't it? I mean, you know, it would have been a perfectly decent mid-season filler in a regular season of Doctor Who. But a 60th anniversary special? I mean, what did we learn in it? Let's strip away for a moment the plot, the mystery that the Doctor solved around the spaceship and the two, you know, shape shifting aliens and all the rest of it. Which was, you know, conceptually, I suppose, all right, interesting. Gave us a lot of double Tennant and Tate action, which is a nightmare by any metric. God, double Tennant and Tate, fuck, it was very, very difficult to watch. Anyway, You know, it's like double shtick. Double hyperactivity. But if you strip away all of that, what was left? Well, really, just a few passing references to the Doctor's recent past and his future. But he didn't really give us anything. It was all very cryptic. The Doctor's description of the Timeless Child, or the events of the Timeless Child, as that got complicated, was a master of understatement, however. But the fact that you've acknowledged the episode and have signalled the fact that you're going to build on it rather than reverse it was terribly disappointing for all Doctor Who fans. Although I'm sure it made your next pint with Chris Chibnall a lot easier. Good for you, Chris. It's canon. And we learned that Donna had seen the Timeless Child because she had all the Doctor's memories from the time she last saw him to the present day. So she's seen all of Chris Chibnall's episodes in her mind. Imagine that. You know, our brains are designed to forget, but poor old Donna will remember forever. What a shame, by the way, that the Doctor didn't TARDIS off with the wrong Donna. That would have been hilarious, wouldn't it? If Donna, after last week and all, oh, Donna's back. We love Donna. We love her gulping, gurning personality and her over emphatic delivery. And after all of that, she'd been fucking blown up. That would have been something, wouldn't it? That would have been a real roll of the dice, wouldn't it? You should have hired Ryan Johnson to write the middle one. He really would have torn up the game plan. Now, yeah, we learned Timeless Child is still a thing, which is going to have to be dealt with, and we learned that the Doctor is implicitly homosexual. Sorry, the male presenting Doctor is implicitly, well, I suppose, bisexual, really, because, you know, after Jody Whitaker's infatuation with Yaz, was that her name? Look, I'm just going to say this once, Roussel. I won't be the first person to say it to you. Many people are going to say this to you, but let it be said. Let's put it on the record. The Doctor, I said this to Chris, and he didn't take it in, so I pray that you take this in. The Doctor does not fancy humanoids, especially not his companions, but not, you know, he doesn't have that sort of primitive human libido, because the Doctor is a higher being. See what I mean? Wouldn't have a sexual relationship with a human for the same reason that you and I would not have a sexual relationship with our dogs or cats. I've touched on this in previous reviews, but you know, go ahead. Look at them. It's all in there. I won't go over it. No need to repeat myself any more than I already have. So, yeah. The running gag in the episode was that Donna and the Doctor intruded on Isaac Newton, discovering gravity. Isaac Newton, who's been racially changed for, I don't, blind casting, I think they call it. Okay. But the gag was Donna gave him the word gravity, except he misheard it as Mavity. So thereafter, there was a temporal shift, if you like, a ripple effect. And by the time everyone got to the spaceship at the end of the universe, that adjustment had been made, and the Donna was saying Mavity instead of gravity, and the Doctor kind of caught it and went, "What?" So the part of his brain that's one with other dimensions and possibilities and all the rest of it took a little longer to catch up. But he too was saying Mavity by the end, though he said gravity first. So he had a memory of the time before time when Mavity was gravity. Does this? I hope this is going to be changed back, isn't it? From now on, for the rest of the run of Doctor Who, if Doctor Who goes on for another 60 years, people aren't going to refer to gravity as Mavity, are they? That's not going to be a long-running thing, is it? Is somebody, reviewing the 120th anniversary show going to be clipping me saying this? Maybe I can come on as a really old man and talk about it on their show. Speaking of old men, you close the episode with Bernard Cribbins, who, of course, is dead now. I mean, it takes so long to release new episodes of Doctor Who and produce them, doesn't it, that the guest cast can die while we wait. Bernard Cribbins died. But he was in this, and yeah. And a lot of people will go, "Oh, it's Bernard Cribbins! He lives again!" And they're so wrapped up with that they'll have forgotten that the previous 60 minutes amounted to bugger all, really. And that was the big problem with Blue Yonder. There was really nothing to it. Maybe the significance of the little cryptic bits and pieces you put in there will become more obvious as with the next special and maybe the series to come. Who knows? But on its own merits, it was a pretty threadbare episode. There's much speculation going into this episode that there would be cameos from, past companions or old doctors or whatever. In the end, it just turned out to be double Tennant and Tate. And I don't know. It just felt to me, Roussel, like a bit of a spare episode, a bit of an off-the-shelf episode. A script that you had in the drawer from 20 years ago that you blew the dust off and just added the odd reference here and there to the Star Beast. Still, there we go. So, you loaded one with political ideology, you've wasted one. What are you going to do with the third special? Let's hope quite a bit. It looks very exciting with old Neil Patrick Harris coming back as the toy maker. We know that old Tennant will not survive it, and so on and so on. It'll all be very interesting. But let's hope that by the time we get to the end of the giggle, that A, we giggled at least once, and B, we do have some idea why David Tennant came back. I mean, presumably you are going to actually bother to answer that question, are you? Presumably it's got something to do with Neil Patrick Harris. Though, wouldn't he have expected to see William Hartnell? It's all terribly confusing, isn't it? So, okay, Roussel, that's it. I'm activating my HADs now and going to a place of greater safety, at least for a week. And let's hope that, when I return the dangerous past, although that may mean I miss the next episode. Adieu.